Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the 1-1 portal, which occurs or begins on 1/1/2021. And yes, we are still within that coding sequence of the zeros, the ones, and the twos, right? We're riding this out into 2021 as our entire reality really is being recoded and reformatted. And we, as a part of that system, are as well. And so it's a really interesting energy. I'm feeling this portal and this energy moving beginning on 1/1 and sort of extending through 1/11. And then sort of kind of on almost leading up and providing this gateway that leads us into the new moon, which is going to be happening on the 13th and is going to be incredibly powerful with a conjunction with Pluto. And so I didn't do a whole lot of channeling for this video. I've had a lot going on in my own life, a lot of transformation, a lot of emotional release, a lot of all the stuff that we talk about is the stuff that I've been navigating too. But what I did feel from this energy is a couple different things. I feel this energy of our dormant potential being activated. And so I'm feeling for some people, this is almost like the activations that we began receiving from the 12/12 portal on sort of into 12/21 and all of that, like some of those beginning to really come online for people and continuing to progress throughout this next couple weeks or so. And of course, obviously beyond that. But as far as the energies of this portal specifically go, like really stepping into that more deeply. This energy with that one energy is very much that energy of stepping into our own power, stepping into our authority, our sovereignty, our autonomy, really our soul purpose and life purpose, activating within us on an ever deeper level, right? Because this has been going on. So it's just a deeper level of that activation of our life purpose. And as our life purpose activates, we begin to activate more deeply and vice versa, right? One feeds the other. Because in order to fulfill our soul purpose, our soul gifts must come online. And so the two really work synergistically together and feed off of each other. And so stepping more deeply into that, really seeing where it is that we want to go, what it is that we want to do. The portal, this happens on the 1st of the year, right? So this is an opportunity for us to really step firmly into the timeline of where we want our lives to be moving through 2021 and beyond. The choices that we are making on and around this 1/1 portal are really setting in motion a chain of events that will determine, and of course we can always change this, but are in that mode of determining what this next year and beyond is going to look like for us. And so we really want to be making the choices and the decisions that model what it is that we are truly desiring. What is it that we want? Who is it that we want to be? What is the future that we're wanting to manifest? Remember, when we have this one energy, it's very much about manifesting and creating as well. And so it's an indicator that our thoughts are incredibly potent and powerful. And this isn't anything new. This is really like our thoughts have been gaining. As we gain spiritual power, our thoughts and our energy gains more power, right? But especially since 1010. And moving on beyond that, like our thoughts have been becoming more and more powerful. And so this, just like that 11/11 portal, right? It's a huge manifestation gateway. So we want to be really cognizant of that and utilize that energy to our advantage as we're moving forward and really make the choices and the decisions that are going to provide what it is that we are truly desiring. Think about what it is that you want and then think, am I doing the things that would logically get me that, right? Are the things in my life in alignment to achieve that? And if they're not, where can we shift our focus? Where can we shift our energy? What can we change? What can we rearrange in order to be more in line with where it is that we're wanting to go? And just really understanding and looking at that. Like this manifesting process is a two-way street. We have to do our part. We have to be acting in a way that facilitates the changes we're wanting to see in our lives. We can't just sit back and let that all happen to us, right? We have to allow that to happen for us by playing our part. And so it's really an understanding with this portal of the part that we play. What is our responsibility in this equation? What do we need to do? And how are we willing to grow and expand and evolve? We're really being pushed beyond anything that we've known before. We have actually, I looked at the astrological energy just out of curiosity, and we do have a T-square going on between the moon, Pluto, and Saturn, and Uranus. And so this is a really intense energy of us being asked to evolve beyond anything that we've seen or known before. And so when we feel, for some of us, maybe these activations and these different things coming online more, it might be a little bit, I don't even know if scary is the word I want to use, but it's going to feel unfamiliar. And so we can either embrace that unfamiliarity, therefore allowing these changes to unfold, or we can shy away from it and shrink back from it, which is only going to just, it's not going to derail our growth. It's not going to stop it, because nothing truly can, right? I mean, if we make enough free will choices, we can derail it. But like, let's be honest, we're not doing that, right? However, as far as, now I'm getting distracted because I said that. See, I should, I mean, it's, we're growing and evolving no matter what. It's just how deeply do we want to step into that process? How deeply do we want to allow? How receptive do we want to be? Are we brave enough to look in the mirror and not recognize the face staring back at us? To look in the mirror, to look into our own eyes and recognize the power that resides within and not look away. That's the kind of energy. It's like staring ourselves in the face as more and more of the truth of who we are is revealed to us, and not shying away from that, not shying away from our light. We're being dared to embrace our light, to step into our light, to stop being afraid of our own light. That's a big energy that I'm feeling coming through. That's really cool. All right. And so I'm going to start pulling some cards, and the angels and ancestors want to come out first. Clear. What guidance do we have for this 1-1 portal? As we know, we're always receiving activations and DNA upgrades and all these things during portals. That never changes. I used to try to get into what specifically are we receiving and stuff like that, but really it's going to be different for everyone. And it's just, that's a consistent thing that's always happening. And so it's really that us empowering ourselves to embrace that process more. The more we embrace the process, not only the smoother is that process going to be, but the more fruitful it's going to be, because we are fully engaged and engrossed in the process. Instead of resisting, it's like us having the opportunity to really drop our resistance right now. And so we have Earth Mother coming out. Feel loved and comforted. And then we also have Guardian Angel. You are not alone. So this is really beautiful energy coming out. This is, and I felt that there was this energy coming through in the reading I just did for the New Year's Eve reading. And so just really Mother Gaia especially, right? But also your guardian angels, your team, your guides, really wanting to come through strongly and let you know how loved and supported you are. It's like I'm feeling this energy where it's like people may be feeling very just not stable, not supported, feeling very alone, feeling very isolated, right? Because this can be a very isolating process for many. And so because all of the old is falling away and the new hasn't come in yet, because our vibration is still calibrating, we're still healing, there's this process of isolation that a lot of times has to occur before we can move out the other side, right? We have to be like the butterfly goes, or the caterpillar goes into that cocoon alone, right? And then when it emerges as the butterfly, it's free to fly and to mingle. But that process, that deep transformational process, has to happen alone, right? It doesn't mean that we don't have guides along the way, both in the spiritual and guides in our physical. However, a lot of that process we have to do by ourselves. And so when we embrace that and we really allow ourselves to be in that space of alone, knowing at the same time that we are not alone, right? Because we have this incredible team. I feel like for some of you guys, you're going to start seeing feathers. And that's going to be a reminder from your guides and your angels that you're not alone. That's going to be for somebody or a group of people. That just coming through. And then the butterflies. There's a reason I was using the butterfly analogy. They're all over this card as well. So just any of those little signs and synchronicities, pay attention to those, because there are ways that your guides and your angels and everyone, all the beings who watch over you, are showing you that you are not alone. So pay attention to that for that confirmation, just as a little aside. But yeah, it's embracing that process. When we really fully embrace that and we say, okay, this is a time to be like the hermit in the tarot. I'm going deep inside myself. I'm going to see what's there. And it makes sense that there's not going to be a million people around me while I'm doing this. And that's okay. Because I know that I am incredibly spiritually well connected and protected. And I know and I understand that this metamorphosis has to come from within me. This is my experience, right? And so I have to allow it to be my experience. When we can really sink into that and invite that and allow that and stop fighting that sense of loneliness, right? When we can fill that with us, with spirit, then we no longer are alone. And then once we get to that point and we really immerse ourselves in this process of evolution, as soon as that desire for someone or something outside ourselves subsides, then of course that opens up the energy to bring it in when the time is right. But we don't care anymore because we are immersed in our healing process, right? We are connected to Mother Gaia. We are connected to our guides and our angels. We are connected to ourselves. And so that's all we need. And then we have the lady coming out. Enjoy growth and reap rewards. And so enjoy the abundance that comes to you. Enjoy the internal growth and the way that internal growth will ultimately be reflected in the external. And it may not be right away. But just know that this process, there are incredible rewards in this process. It is worth every moment of uncomfortability, right? I think the caterpillar doesn't really have a choice, right? It just naturally, instinctively knows when to create that cocoon and when to go into the dark depths of that. And it just naturally emerges when the time is right. And then I hardly think that it regrets, right? When the caterpillar comes out emerging as that butterfly, it never once regrets the time it spent in that cocoon. That's where I was going with that. All right, we have Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. Okay, so this is the energy of us being known. This is another reason that your guides are wanting to come through and wanting to let you know how protected you are. Is because when we don't feel safe, when we don't feel protected, we keep our shields up. We don't allow anything in, right? And so this doesn't just mean people on the outside. It's like a lot of times we think that we're alone for some reason outside of ourselves, but part of that energy is actually what we are creating because we have those energetic shields up. And so people can't really get close to us even if we wanted them to. And spirit can't get close to us either when we're like that. Our heart can't heal. Our heart can't open if we have those shields up. And so if we feel unsafe, if we feel alone, if we feel unprotected, we're not going to drop that guard with others, with ourselves, with spirit. And so we're not going to be able to grow and we're not going to be able to evolve and we're going to stay stuck. So this is like drop your shields, let spirit in, let the emotions in, let the knowledge in, let the experiences in that are trying to shift you and shape you, and understand that you are safe and protected that entire time because you have a strength that is not even entirely yours. It is greater than you, but at the same time it is you. And then we have Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. So really sinking into that energy of peace and surrender and being peaceful in our in our interactions with others as well. And then we have the Lord. So we have the Lady and the Lord here, which is really interesting. This is the masculine and the feminine, right? And the Lord says, take charge with authority. And so this is us stepping into our spiritual authority, our spiritual power, but in a peaceful way, right? It's like dropping the shields where we're not defensive and we're not offensive. We simply are. We're simply standing in our full authority. We're not fighting anyone. We're not defending against anyone, right? Because those energies are no longer necessary. And so it's really like, I'm feeling like There's somebody, there are situations in our lives where we feel as though we're in a battle with someone or something. And part of this battle we're not understanding is actually a reflection of what's going on internally within us. And so in order to, and so we're kind of like holding up this shield. We are in this really contentious sort of space. And sometimes we feel that energy reflecting to other people, but we're not understanding that it's because we're not embracing that energy of peace within ourselves. We're not at peace within ourselves. And so when we're not at peace within ourselves, we sometimes receive that reflected in our outer world. So it's really embracing that energy of peace, allowing ourselves to become vulnerable. And this doesn't necessarily mean if there's a person in our lives that we have this contentious energy with, that we have to become vulnerable with them. But allow ourselves to become vulnerable with ourselves. Find that safe, comforted space where we can be open and honest and vulnerable with ourselves, where we can come into this deeper state of peace within us. And then, yes, take charge from that state of peace. But this is like take charge of our own lives, of the direction that they're going. Take charge of determining and creating and cultivating your own peace of mind. Any other energies wanting to come through from the angels and ancestors before we move on? Yep, there's the Hermit. Retreat and recharge. That process of going within, just like we were talking about. And then the Stargazer, set your sights higher. So this is energy, again, of that process, this internal process that we are undergoing. And like why it is so important that we allow for that process. And then this is where that manifesting energy comes in, where we are setting and creating that timeline for our future. And so we want to, like, don't set your sights too low. Don't sell yourself short is the energy of that. Think and dream bigger. Whatever your dream is, think and dream bigger, because something bigger is possible for you. You can never dream too big. This is an energy where there are areas in our lives where we're setting our sights too low. And so we're being asked to retreat and to really meditate and contemplate and understand and look at what it is that we are receiving. And if it is a match to what we are deserving of. And if it's not, and if we truly know that within us, we're being asked to retreat from that energy and then to really look at and understand, why is it that I'm accepting less than what I deserve? Why is it that I am setting my sights lower, that I am setting the bar too low, right? What can I heal? What can I change what can I embrace in order to allow that bar to rise higher? That's the energy that I'm getting from that. Is that energy of allowing, like figuring that out. And if you guys need assistance with this, please reach out to me. I would be very happy to help you with that. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Seer. See beyond the current situation. The current situation is just a reflection of these deeper things that we're being asked to go inside and look at and understand. Yeah. It's see beyond your current situation, but then also, wise one, grow within your current situation. So understand how, and you got the owl up there for wisdom. Understand how your current situation, what it can teach you, and how you can grow from it, right? There's an opportunity for growth there. But see beyond, like the situation itself is not the issue. It's what lies underneath that. And that's how you grow within the situation, is by understanding what underrides it. What is underneath that? Right? And then be brave and honest. A lot of honesty being called for right now. A lot of courage. Us stepping into that courage, stepping into that self-honesty above all else. But if we understand the things that need to be said, the things that need to be done, be honest about that with ourselves and with the other people in our lives, and do the scary thing. And then Sky Father, trust in the universe. Everything is unfolding perfectly. All right, we're going to pull a couple Sacred Spirit reading cards. Clear. 1-1 portal energy, please. And when we're talking about the 1-1 portal, we're also talking about, I mean, this is This is New Year's Day, right? This is the portal that brings in the new year, that we are setting our course. And so this is guidance, not just for during the 1/1 portal, but as we move through 2020 in general. This is what we're being asked to do. This is how we can make the most out of 2021. I think I just said 2020 before that, but I mean, old habits. It's sort of like when the year changes and you're still writing the old year on all your paperwork, right? Okay. Emotional challenges is the first card coming out. Resolve the issue. So really, this is what we're still being asked to do, is look at where we are being challenged emotionally. What is that teaching us? How can we resolve the wounds underlying these issues? We're really being asked to continue digging deep where that's concerned. To really be brave and honest when it comes to these challenges in our lives, to confront them head on and to resolve them. We're learning how to resolve the deeper issues, the core wounds within ourselves. And like I said, reach out to me if you want assistance with this. And we're also learning how to resolve the issues in the outer world through the ways that we act and interact with others, through the ways that we communicate, through the ways that we can have these experiences with other people and understand, like we're learning conflict resolution and challenge resolution internally and externally this coming year. Clear and activate, create sacred space. So tons of more energy. We're clearing a lot more energy. We are receiving many more activations. And we are really being called at to create that sacred space within and without that allows for us, that place where we can retreat to recharge. We're going to need to really be understanding that balance as we move through this 1/1 portal and into 2021, right? Understanding this balance of when it's time to retreat and recharge, when it's time to then move forward, right? It's going to be keeping that balance, means coming back and forth as we need to, as we move through this coming year. And then we have energy signature. The past is in the present. And so this is more of that energy of understanding what our energy is pulling in, what our energy is bringing in, right? Everything, these emotional challenges, they come from past events, past circumstances, past beliefs, ideologies, trainings, triggers. And so really understanding that and seeing, like looking at every situation, and this is like when it looks, is the look beyond the current situation card, seeing where has the situation been present before? Where has this feeling, this emotional challenge been present before? When was the first time that I experienced this energy, this challenge, this situation, right? And for some of us, this is going way beyond this life into past lives as well. And so really asking those questions and understanding how our past, where and when we are allowing our past to continue to dictate our future, and really healing and digging out those wounds once and for all so that we are finally free of them. So that they are no longer, our past is no longer dictating our present, right? Yeah, it's really interesting the way these two cards look together too, like that. Yeah. And it's really interesting how he is, like you've got the earth right here. And he's sort of like playing with it or creating it. So it's like we are creating this earth, this new earth right now with our energetic signature. So what do we want our energetic signature to be is another thing coming up right now, right? Every time we clear, every time we activate, we change and evolve our own personal energetic signature. And that energetic signature attracts to us the experiences in our lives. And so if we are attracting old experiences, situations that model and remind us of past experiences, that's because our energetic signature was in a similar place as what it was when those things were originally attracted. And so if we heal what originally created that energetic signature, we can shift that energetic signature and have that be more in alignment with what it is that we're wanting to bring in and experience in our lives. And just knowing that our energetic signature right now, like the more clear we can make our energetic signature right now, the more fortuitous of a timeline we can move into for 2021. And then lead the way, light your own path. So really that energy of coming into ourselves, coming into our autonomy, all right? So this is something to understand as we move into the beginning of the age of Aquarius, right? We're closing out the age of Pisces. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. It's like a push-pull kind of thing. That first phase of the age of Aquarius is not unity. All right? This sounds a little crazy, but it's true. Like, yes, we are always unified. We can never be anything but, because we are all one consciousness, one energy, split into a million beautiful little pieces and sparks of individuality. So the first step to Aquarius energy before it can unify with the whole is to know the self, is to be the fullest expression of the self. And so first, before we come together, we're being asked to all divide, in a sense, in the way of really individuating ourselves, stepping away from all the old collective patterning. Remember, the collective energy right now is not healthy, right? It is what we are destroying and dismantling. So we don't want to unify with that collective energy. We want to pull back. We want to unify within ourselves. We want to become strong and firm and confident within ourselves to allow our own personal energy signature to evolve and develop, right? And then once we all individually have that, we come together to create something magnificent. But it's that individuating part that is first what we are experiencing at the beginning of this age of Aquarius. And so it's really important to understand that. And that's what it means by light your own path, right? Don't take the path that everyone told you you should travel. Take the path that you feel instinctively is the path that is right for you to travel. You individually. What is right for me is not right for you, and vice versa, right? And on and on and on. We are all very unique sparks of that one light. And so we need to get to understand, to get to know our own individual spark. And then once we know that, we come together to create the fire, the ultimate, right, unified collective. And then on the bottom of the deck here, we have hidden realms, create conscious awareness. So this is what it's all about. And this is sort of, and I want to read what this says in the book, but I really like this because this came up, it was awakened awareness in the other deck, right? But it's this idea of awareness, of being consciously aware. And so I'm going to see what this book has to say about, and this is awareness of all those hidden realms, right? This is the traveling between dimensions, all of that fun stuff. Communicating, says, traditionally shamans are the gatekeepers to the hidden realms of ancient wisdom and magic, accessing the hidden realms for further meaning and insight into a soul's pain or an individual's disease. Using conscious communication, the shaman works to bridge the realms between humanity and creation. Communicating with the elementals, nature, animal realms, ancestors, angelic forces, and spiritual beings that serve humanity as guardians, guides, teachers, and masters, and more is the role of the shaman. These ancient practices have been developed and refined across time with shamans, seers, visionaries, serving their communities as mediators between the human experience and the world of nature, restoring power to those who have experienced disempowerment or physical experience. Shamanic practitioners reconnect the aspects of the soul that have been lost through trauma or life experiences. Right now, you are being asked to connect to the hidden realms, expanding your consciousness, to open your mind wide and reconnect with your soul for deep healing and transformation. There is much to be learned from the hidden realms that can assist you in your waking life. Examine your dream cycles and interpret your subconscious messages. Creating conscious awareness will allow you to actively connect to your universal guardians, the elements, and the celestial realm. Like any learned skill, practice will improve the strength of your connection. Pay attention to any symbols, animals, or visual images that appear in your life now, as there is deep meaning that applies to you. And so I love that. That's perfect energy, I think, to sort of close this aspect of the reading out with. And then, of course, the guardian, guard your energy, and astral travel under that. Yeah. So this constant process of protecting our energy where it's necessary, but also having that safe, sacred space so that we can let those shields down, let those guards down, and be open as well, because we want to learn how to be open. We want to learn how to be safe and protective and open at the same time. And I want to pull a couple animal spirit cards to close this out. Clear Closing guidance for the 1-1 portal and the 1-1 portal and beyond, as we're going to call this. This is the portal that is pulling us, that is bringing us into our new timeline, into our new reality. But there's still a lot of work to be done here. There's always more work to be done. And thank God, really, because we would get bored if there weren't, I think. And so the guidance coming through is cat spirit. Claim your independence, just like we were talking about, right? Your spiritual autonomy and authority. And porcupine spirit, time for the beginner mind. Look at everything through the eyes of the beginner. Don't think that you know everything. This is great guidance, right? Because when we think we know everything, we're not teachable anymore, right? You can't graft a new idea on closed minds. And so we are all constantly learning and evolving. There is always more to know and more to understand. And the second we think we know and understand everything, we shut ourselves down to be open to an evolution of our understanding and our consciousness. We're no longer evolving. We're no longer growing. And so we want to be really, really cognizant and careful of that as we move forward. Yeah. An owl spirit on the bottom of the deck. You see clearly now. So more and more clarity coming to our perception, to our perspective, as we continue to clear our energy, as we continue to pay attention to what is being shown to us and take action around that, right? We see that clear path forward. That path becomes more and more clear. And swan spirit coming out. Time for a deep dive. Right? So we're not staying on the surface still, right? We may have come up for a little breather, right? That's kind of how this process works. It's like we dive deep, we go down there, we see what we can find, and then when we absolutely have to take a breath, we come back up to the surface. We take a few deep breaths, we get our bearings, and then we dive deep into the shadows, into the depths of ourselves again, and see what more we can find, right? It's a constant process. It does not end. And so this is just a reminder of that, to really dive deep within ourselves. This is not a time to be kind of like trying to swim in the shallow end. It's not going to work, right? We are going to have to do this deep diving one way or another. And so like, how far are you willing to go? How deep are you willing to dive? How free do you want to be is really the energy here. And then canary spirit, sing your own song. So a lot of that energy of marching to the beat of our own drum, or that Aquarius energy, what we need to learn, right? Claim your sovereignty, claim your independence. Anywhere that you are feeling dependent on something, free yourself from that, right? And sing your own song. Be who you're going to be. Live your own life the way that you want to live it, right? That's the energy of that. We are creating, we are creators, we are coming into our understanding, and this 1-1 energy is very much about that, of our energetic sovereignty, of our ability to create, of our own power, and the control that we actually have over our destiny. And so really embrace that. Sing your own song. March to the beat of your own drum. All of those old sayings, right? All those old cheesy sayings, that's what we want to do right now. And then we have chameleon spirit, act as if. Interesting. And pig spirit, use your mind wisely. So this is the energy of not letting our minds get the best of us, having them be our servant and not our master. Utilizing our intelligence and our logic where it's necessary, but not overusing it. And then act as if. So this is that energy that we were talking about at the beginning of the reading. What would the person that you want to be doing? What in your life is in alignment with what you're wanting to create, and what is not, with who you're wanting to be and what is not, right? Where are you acting as if in the sense of wearing a mask? And where are you acting as if, as in stepping into the role of the person you are wanting to become? Because there's a difference. There's a difference between pretending, right, which we don't want to do, pretending in order to fit in order to be liked, in order to get what we think we need. When we're wearing a mask, when we're acting as if out of fear. And there's the other side of that, when we're acting as if, as in sort of the analogy of like when they say when you go for a job interview, right, dress for the job you want. Right, so if you're trying to get a job at a swanky office building, you don't show up in rags. You show up in a suit. That kind of energy, suit up and show up kind of energy. That's the act as if energy that we want to portray and we want to let go. Like, what is the energy of confidence and independence that we're acting as if? And where are we acting out of fear? That's the act as if. That's the wearing the mask. That's where that mask needs to come off, right? 2020 is a year where the masks really need to come off. And I mean that literally and metaphorically. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. There is so much good fortune in store for you if you follow this guidance, if you move forward in the manner that we've discussed. There's so much fortuitous energy in the air. There's so much potent manifestation energy in the air. It's just how we're utilizing it, how we are stepping into that newer version of ourselves, right? And then Horse Spirit 33, freedom is yours, and we are done. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Happy 1/1 portal. Happy New Year. Happy all of that. 2021. I mean, this is going to be a powerful year. Like we said, the work doesn't stop, but we are suiting up and we are showing up and we are ready to get it done. Or get this next phase done. Like we said, it's never done. But you guys know what I mean. We're here. We're in it to win it. And like, we are ready to dive deep. There is absolutely nothing like this is a time where we must find our courage. We must find our resilience, our strength within, and understand that like there is no dive that's too deep. We're ready to go. This is what we came here for. And so we are doing it, and we are doing it together. Remember, you are never, 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 ever alone. If you liked this video, like this video. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. My email is also in the description box below, along with a list of my services. If you would like, I do really powerful angelic energy healings. If you would like one of those, if you would like a personal reading, a theta healing, any of the different things that I offer, please reach out to me. I would love, love, love to do that for you. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the announcements. Comment, let me know how you're feeling about this new year as we're continuing to grow and evolve and transform. I want to hear from you guys. I love the connections that I'm making with each and every one of you. You are such beautiful, beautiful souls, and you have everything within you to really make 2021 your year to shine, even brighter than you have shone thus far. All right, I will talk to you guys soon.